Now, what person in the world would you like to have a private conversation with?
Who would I like to talk to the most right now? Vanilla Ice.
So he tried to let me know. We sat down. He was like, "Yo, don't get it. You know, I'm a real gangster from Oakland." I was like, "Yo, Hammer, you ain't got to do this to me."
This is about real fear, the kind that runs deep in your bones. We're talking about Shoog Knight, a man whose name alone evokes images of power and intimidation, a man who built his reputation on the streets. And Shoog is claiming that Jay-Z and Diddy, two titans of the hip-hop industry, two men who project an image of invincibility, were genuinely, deeply afraid of MC Hammer? Yeah, you heard me right, the Hammer. The man is known for parachute pants and catchy dance moves. Now I know what you're thinking. This has to be a joke. But Shoog's explanation is far more nuanced and far more unsettling than you might expect. This isn't about who had the better rhymes or the bigger record sales. This is about something much darker, something that speaks to the underbelly of the rap game. So buckle up, because this story is about to take you down a rabbit hole of power, respect, and the real cost of challenging the status quo. While MC Hammer projected a clean-cut image rooted in his faith and his infectious dance moves, Shoog Knight's words paint a very different picture. He suggests that behind the scenes, Hammer was recognized in certain circles as one of the most dangerous figures of his time, even more so than Knight himself. This is a shocking revelation, challenging everything we thought we knew about the rapper. It begs the question, what was MC Hammer hiding? What's the truth behind this unexpected reputation? Stanley Kirk Burrell, the man known as MC Hammer, grew up in East Oakland, California, a neighborhood riddled with poverty, drugs, and crime. Raised by his mother after his parents separated when he was just 5, he faced the daily challenges of navigating a difficult environment. When asked how he managed to avoid the pitfalls of his surroundings, MC Hammer credited his deep love for his mother and his determination not to disappoint her. From a young age, Hammer displayed an entrepreneurial spirit, selling discarded baseball tickets outside the Oakland Coliseum and using his older brother's connections to the team to his advantage. He'd even incorporate impromptu dance performances into his sales pitch, showcasing his early passion for entertainment. These experiences, while seemingly innocent, hint at a resourcefulness and a willingness to hustle that might have served him well in other, less savory pursuits. It's a glimpse into the complex individual behind the public persona, a man who may have navigated both the bright lights of the stage and the shadows of the streets. One day, team owner Charles Finley spotted young MC Hammer and, impressed by his energy and talent, offered him a remarkable opportunity, a job as a clubhouse attendant. This was a pivotal moment, especially considering Hammer's young age and the fact that he'd been arrested for loitering around the stadium just days before. His charisma and hard work made a lasting impression on Finley and the team, eventually leading to a vice president position within the organization by his early teens. Baseball also played a key role in shaping MC Hammer's identity. Oakland A's outfielder Reggie Jackson observed a striking resemblance between Hammer and the legendary Hank Aaron, whose nickname was also the Hammer. After high school, MC Hammer briefly attended a local college but soon dropped out. He then enlisted in the Navy, serving for several years before receiving an honorable discharge. During his time in the military, he collaborated with a friend, creating music demos whenever possible. After leaving the Navy, Hammer briefly joined a gospel hip-hop group called the Holy Ghost Boys. This diverse range of experiences ultimately contributed to his multifaceted career in the music industry. He even opened the American Music Awards with "Do Not Pass Me By." Despite his spiritual leanings, Hammer clearly wasn't shy about enjoying the material rewards of his success. This adds another layer to the developing narrative, a young man navigating contrasting worlds, from the streets of Oakland to the owner's box, from military service to the gospel stage, all while harboring a potential darker side. MC Hammer's ascent wasn't just about catchy tunes and slick dance moves. It was fueled by a raw ambition and a hustler's mentality honed on the streets of Oakland. He leveraged his connections, securing loans from former Oakland A's players, a move that hinted at a knack for persuasion and a network that extended beyond the baseball diamond. This financial muscle allowed him to build his own empire, not just as an artist, but as a CEO, establishing Busted Records. "I want to get the backpack," he declared, his eyes fixed on the prize. Not just fame, but the serious money that came with it. He crafted the MC Hammer persona, a master of ceremonies who commanded attention, and independently released Feel My Power in 1987. This wasn't just a debut album, it was a declaration of intent. His relentless self-promotion bordered on aggressive, a constant presence that demanded to be noticed. He hustled his way to over 60,000 sales, an impressive feat for an independent release. But the real turning point, the moment that revealed the extent of his ambition, came in a smoky Oakland club in 1988. A record executive, witnessing the raw energy and undeniable magnetism, offered him a multi-album deal with Capitol Records. The sudden influx of cash and mainstream recognition was intoxicating. I was a college student at the time, Hammer later remarked, feigning innocence. So I'm like, I can't even fathom what $10,000 looks like. But behind the wide-eyed facade, a sharper mind was at work, calculating the next move. This wasn't just about music anymore. It was about power, influence, and a hunger for more that hinted at a dangerous edge beneath the charismatic surface. The streets of Oakland hadn't just shaped his music. They'd forged a relentless drive that could just as easily lead to triumph as it could to something far more sinister. His third album, Please Hammer Don't Hurt 'Em, dropped in February 1990 and featured the chart-topping Rick James sampling, You Can't Touch This. The song became an instant anthem, catapulting MC Hammer to even greater heights of fame and cementing his iconic status. You Can't Touch This. It was more than just a catchy hook. It was a statement, a declaration of invincibility. But success, as it often does, brought its own set of problems. Rick James slapped Hammer with a copyright infringement lawsuit over the Super Freak sample. The case was eventually settled out of court, with Hammer agreeing to credit James as a co-writer, granting him a share of the song's substantial royalties. I put a very operatic structure to the vocals because I'm really into opera, James told Musician magazine. You probably hear a lot of that in my music. This wouldn't be the last time MC Hammer faced legal challenges over copyright issues, a shadow lurking beneath the dazzling lights of his meteoric rise. Despite these legal battles, Hammer's career continued its upward trajectory, but the cracks were beginning to show. The same ambition and hustle that propelled him to stardom might also be his undoing. During a revealing interview with Maria Shriver on First Person Singular, Hammer disclosed a fascinating detail about his career. He had insured his legs for a staggering $10 million. A shrewd move, perhaps, to protect the assets that had launched him to stardom. But despite his remarkable achievements, MC Hammer's career wasn't without its critics. He faced backlash for the perceived repetitiveness of his music, his clean-cut image, and what some considered an over-reliance on sampling. He also became the target of diss tracks and parodies by other artists. It's important to note, however, that some of these attacks were in response to Hammer's own aggressive jabs at his contemporaries. They asked us what we thought about MC Hammer, one artist recalled, and we said, you know, he can't rap. He's not a good rapper. He's a great entertainer, but he can't rap. The tide was beginning to turn. The same flamboyant style and self-promotion that had propelled him to the top were now becoming targets for ridicule. The cracks in the facade were widening, hinting at the vulnerabilities beneath the carefully constructed image. By the end of his mainstream run, MC Hammer was far from the image of a gangster rapper. His trademark parachute pants, elaborate dance routines, and pop-oriented music set him apart from the grittier, more streetwise aesthetic associated with many hip-hop artists of the time. This made him an easy target for ridicule, with some even accusing him of selling out. His image was so firmly established that when he attempted a tougher, more hardcore persona with his 1994 album, The Funky Headhunter, it was met with skepticism and even mockery. He's not even doing the rapping himself, critics scoffed. He's got his homeboy yelling all his vocals and he's just jumping around. But beneath the surface of the flamboyant showman, a different narrative was emerging. One fan, a Bay Area native, wrote, "I was a huge Hammer fan. He brought excitement, showmanship, and mainstream diversity to hip-hop at a time when it was extremely taboo. I commend him for pushing boundaries despite the backlash." Another defended him fiercely. "Hammer is one of the realest rappers ever. He was attacked by his own friends who were envious of his fortune and talent. 99% of all rappers don't have a track record as spotless as his." These contrasting perspectives highlight the complex legacy of MC Hammer, a man who defied easy categorization, simultaneously celebrated and ridiculed, a performer whose true nature remained elusive, shrouded in a carefully constructed persona. The question lingered, was the church boy image a facade, or was the gangster narrative an exaggeration? The truth, as always, likely lay somewhere in between. But Stanley Burrell, the man behind the MC Hammer persona, possessed a power that shouldn't be underestimated. This became evident in an encounter rapper Redman had with Hammer. In 1992, MC Hammer was arguably the most commercially successful hip-hop artist on the planet. His 1990 album, Please Hammer Don't Hurt 'Em, had sold a staggering 22 million copies, and 1991's Too Legit to Quit added another 5 million to his impressive sales figures. His massive success and more mainstream-friendly style, however, made him a target for criticism from hardcore MCs. Redman was one of those critics, expressing his disdain for Hammer in the Funky Uncle's skit on his debut album, What the Album. During the 1-minute interlude, Redman can be heard dismissing Hammer. He's not an S. Hammer ain't doing nothing for us. He's not an S. You're not an S. His mama's not an S. His father's not an S. You not an S. Redman, recounting Hammer's response to the diss on Vlad TV, revealed a different side to the entertainer. That MC Hammer is serious about beef. Y'all laughing and joking about Hammer? Nah. That dude was deep. Anybody that spoke on coming to the Bay Area, they was there for it. Cause we seen it, I seen it, and he was serious about beef. This account paints a picture of a man willing to defend his reputation, a man not to be trifled with. A glimpse of the steel beneath the velvet, the church boy image began to crack, revealing a potential for ruthlessness that contradicted his carefully cultivated persona. In a 1994 interview on Rap City, MC Hammer addressed Redman's Funky Uncle's skit, making it clear he hadn't taken kindly to the disrespect. He had his little fun, Hammer said of Redman. When he had his album, he had a little skit on the front of it that said something about Hammer. So to me, he's just a young buckaroo. So I put it on the album and put him in his place. A year later, Redman found himself face to face with MC Hammer. 3 years after the skit's release, it was clear Hammer hadn't forgotten or forgiven the perceived slight. Redman recounted the encounter. Dude came at me on Yo, MTV Raps during their final episode. He called me out and said, "Red, I'ma tell you something, you young, but I don't let nobody talk about my mama. You understand me?" Redman, recognizing the seriousness of the situation, simply replied, "Yes, sir." To provide context, Redman explained that prior to this encounter, his crew, the Hit Squad, had a near run-in with Hammer's entourage in the Bay Area. We was already in Oakland with EPMD, and we almost had to jet quick because they had people here, there, and everywhere, he recalled. And it felt like they wasn't playing, and we had to get up out of there. Returning to the Yo MTV Raps confrontation, Redman elaborated. He called me out and said, "You a young artist and I respect what you doing, but always remember, I don't let nobody talk about my mama." In a 2012 interview on the Combat Jack Show, Redman offered an even more vivid description.
I think Hammer is a sucker. Hammer don't play. Hammer don't play. He dances and he's very athletic and he'll whoop a
This account further solidified the image of a man who, despite his public persona, was not someone to be crossed. The church boy mask had slipped, revealing a hardened edge, a willingness to defend his honor by any means necessary. Slowly, he turned into a man that everyone feared. This wasn't just a guy in parachute pants. This was a dude who knew how to play the game. And I mean the real game. The fact that he ended up signing with Death Row Records speaks volumes. I'm not saying that automatically makes him dangerous, but it puts him in a whole different league. While other rappers were trading disses on wax, Hammer was allegedly taking things to the streets. We're talking about actual hits being put out on people who crossed him. Take MC Search from Third Bass, for example. He claims Hammer put a $50,000 bounty on the group's heads over a single line in their song, The Cactus. The lyric in question was supposedly a playful jab at both Third Bass's 1989 album, The Cactus Album, and Hammer's track from the same year, Turn This Mother Out.
Have you ever judged a book by its cover? Well, please, for the love of God, don't do that with MC Hammer. See, MC Hammer had a problem. You don't remember MC Hammer, right? The guy who sings Can't Touch This, Parachute Pants, and all that. Anyway, he had a problem. Rappers used to love to make fun of him in their songs. Why? Because he was considered to be a rapper, even though he was dancing, singing, wearing crazy outfits. And this made other rappers think he was a sellout or he was a poser. One of these rappers was Redman of the duo Method Man and Redman. They're making a song. Method Man says, "I like MC Hammer, he cool." Redman said, "Man, MC Hammer, corny." They stopped the track. The producer go, "What'd you say?" Redman said, "I said he corny." The producer said, "I'll just take that part out for you." Redman said, "No, keep it. I said he corny." And why, Method Man, why you glazing him? Hold on, what's going on? Why y'all scared? The producer said, "Who's scared?" "You know what, I'm gonna keep the song in for you, but you're gonna end up just like MC Search." Redman said, "What happened to MC Search?" The producer said, "Don't worry, you finna find out." Redman goes to a TV performance. He starts leaving. He sees MC Hammer. He go, "He waiting for me?" Redman go, "Man, MC Hammer goes, shh, you can just call me Hammer." Redman go, "That's not how this works. I'm supposed to diss you in a song, then you're supposed to diss me in a song. You're not supposed to actually pull up." Hammer go, "Let's just say I'm a peculiar one. Don't talk about my family in your songs again. Listen to me. You're young. It's not worth it." Redman go, "Oh, yes, sir." Whoa, I just noticed the fellow surrounding you. You came with a lot of people. They your friends?" Hammer go, "Not quite." That man go, regardless, you won't have to worry about me again. Ice Cube didn't get the memo though. He started talking about MC Hammer. MC Hammer pull up on him with a bunch of folks that love the color blue and love throwing up hand signs. Ice Cube go, yeah, I heard what happened to MC Search. I thought it was Cap. My fault, Hammer. Hammer go, great. Now I know what you're thinking. Who is MC Search? I'm gonna tell you what happened to MC Search. Slow down. See, MC Search is part of a group called Third Base. MC Hammer starts talking smack about them first, and then they come back at MC Hammer. This dude in the group named Pete starts talking about MC Hammer's mom in the song. They pull up to them and go, hey, y'all ready for that trip we got to California? They go, yeah. The manager go, great, because you know who else lives in California? The Hammer. They go, the Hammer? You mean MC Hammer? Man, we ain't scared of him. The manager go, great, because I just got a call from his brother saying the minute we step foot in California, we're all... They go, man, you can't worry about all that. They hop on the plane. They go, hey, what was you saying about the Hammer again? The manager go, oh, no, y'all was right. I was just a little too paranoid. They go, yeah. Maybe we should look into it though, just in case. So they call a rapper by the name of Prodigy, who was a part of Mobb Deep, because he tapped in. They go, hey, Prodigy, we was hearing it. He said, no, don't worry, I heard about it. Let me check my database just to double check. Yes, you guys are on the bounty list for the Crips at $50,000. They hang up. They go, Cap. They called another rapper to double check. He go, hey, y'all still alive? Oh, so why y'all talk about the Hammer? Listen, don't even worry about it. It's not really like that. When you go over there, they're not really gonna you. They probably just gonna break your legs. He said, but now that I'm double checking, it seems like the bounty is only for one of you. Black dude already said, I know it ain't me. They said, how you know that? He said, I just know. They said, well, the bounty must be for Pete, because he's the one who said the thing about his mom. They said, nah, looks like it's for you, Search. He goes, why I say? They land in California. They hire a dude from the Crips to protect them. They say, you know what, we gonna be safe. So they go to the mall. They chilling. They see a few dudes in blue masks pull up to them. They go, oh no. They go, public area, they're not finna do nothing. The dudes grab their, they go, okay, they finna do something. The Crip that they hired throws up his signs. The dudes who with the, said, oh, they pull down their mask. They go, my fault. You know, you should have just told us he was with you, man. I was about to, can I have an autograph? They go, yeah. But it all comes to a head when they pull up to a radio station. The host goes, I heard Hammer been running y'all through the city. They go, well, that's not exactly true. Host said, hold on, I'm getting a phone call. Hello, this is the Hammer. They go, is that really MC Hammer? He goes, yes, this is the Hammer. The host goes, good evening, sir. Is there anything you would like to say to the gentleman? Hammer goes, no. But is there anything they would like to say to me? Everyone looks at Pete, because remember, he's the one who said the line. Pete, quiet as a mouse. So Search goes, man, we ain't scared of. The phone hangs up. The radio station immediately gets another call. He says, hello, I'm calling in from the Crips. Y'all not leaving California and y'all are all. Security busts in, grabs them and shuttles them out to the van to get them to the airport as fast as possible. They start driving off. A car starts chasing them at high speed. A couple dudes poking out the car with pointed at the car. They start driving. They make it to the airport. They get out of California. They tell MC Hammer in an interview, yeah, the group Third Base is making crazy accusations about you. MC Hammer goes, I'm just MC Hammer. I have no idea what you may or may not be talking about.
Years later, in 2015, Search revealed even more details on the Ed Lover Show. He claimed he received death threats from Hammer's brother, Louis Burrell, during a flight to LA. By 2018, Search was still grappling with the incident, even seeking therapy to process the trauma. He recounted the events following the chilling phone call. The day after the American Music Awards, Third Base arrived at K-Day for a morning show appearance. Brimming with excitement, Greg Mack greeted them warmly, shaking their hands. The atmosphere was light and celebratory. Mack announced their presence, the upcoming album release party at the Palace, and the Third Base Jeep giveaway. Then, he revealed a special guest on the line, MC Hammer, fresh off his 5 American Music Award wins. Hammer's initial tone was cordial, exchanging pleasantries with Mack. The mood shifted when Mack mentioned Hammer had something to say to Third Bass. Hammer's voice took on a serious edge as he expressed his disapproval of dissing someone's mother on a record. Search emphasized that he hadn't uttered the lyric in question. It was Pete Nice. He looked at Pete, urging him to respond, but Pete remained silent. Search took the initiative. He acknowledged Hammer's feelings, but pointedly reminded him of his own alleged actions, challenging him to a face-to-face confrontation rather than hiding behind threats. Hammer abruptly hung up. The situation escalated rapidly. Another call came in to K-Day. Mack answered, only to hear a voice identify themselves as a Crip, affiliated with the Rollin' 60s, and utter threats before security stormed the studio. Third Bass fled the building, piling into their van and speeding away. As they drove down the hill, 2 blue cars pulled up alongside them. Men emerged, brandishing Mac 11s and aiming them at the van. Pookie, Third Bass's bodyguard, jumped out, throwing up gang signs. The men in the cars retreated, leaving Third Bass shaken but unharmed. At soundcheck, the situation became even more unnerving. The Palace, located across from the Capitol Records building, was surrounded by blue vehicles, a clear display of force by the Rollin' 60 Crips. Third Bass couldn't back down. The show had to go on. Big D, their manager, stayed close to Mike Concepcion, a prominent figure in the hip-hop scene. Concepcion later attended a recording session for We're All in the Same Gang, where he encountered Hammer. The two exchanged words. Reportedly, Hammer questioned why Third Bass wasn't dead yet, a chilling inquiry made in front of Big D. Realizing the gravity of the situation, they devised a plan to get Third Bass into the venue safely. They would pose as security, dressed in Kevlar vests, jackets, hats, and dark glasses provided by ACS security. They entered a dark van, navigating through the throngs of Crips encircling the Palace. Search's girlfriend wept at the Hyatt as he said goodbye, the fear palpable. Anyone wearing blue, the color of the Crips, was ejected from the venue. Inside, the tension remained. Years later, Search still struggled to reconcile with the events. He expressed a desire to move past the incident, to simply shake Hammer's hand and acknowledge it as water under the bridge. He maintained the lyric was a witty play on words, nothing more. Yet, the trauma lingered. "I'm not good," he admitted. "I've gone through 25 years of therapy 3 days a week. I am not good. I wish I could be good." Redman, too, learned a harsh lesson about crossing MC Hammer. In 1992, on his album What? The album, Redman included an interlude titled Funky Uncles, where he dissed Hammer and his family. "Everybody yelling hammer time," the track went. "He ain't mama ain't daddy ain't nobody." This seemingly innocuous diss would have serious repercussions. In 1995, Redman and Hammer crossed paths on the set of the final episode of Yo! MTV Raps. Hammer approached Redman not for a friendly chat, but to deliver a stern warning. Redman later recounted the encounter on Vlad TV, revealing he had been chased out of Oakland by Hammer's affiliates. The chilling accounts of MC Hammer's alleged actions paint a picture of a man who commanded fear and respect, even from those typically considered untouchable. Jay-Z and Diddy, two figures who had reached the pinnacle of hip-hop success and wielded immense power within the industry, were reportedly wary of crossing Hammer. These were men who had navigated the treacherous waters of the music business, who had faced down legal challenges and industry rivals without flinching. Yet, even they seemed to recognize a different kind of power emanating from MC Hammer, a power rooted not just in fame and fortune, but in a street-level credibility and a willingness to operate outside the established rules. It wasn't just about lyrics and music videos. It was about reputation, influence, and the unspoken understanding of consequences. In a world where image is everything, MC Hammer had cultivated a persona that transcended the stage, a persona that whispered of connections and repercussions, a persona that even Jay-Z and Diddy seemed reluctant to challenge. So, what do you think? Comment down below and let us know. If you like this video, click the subscribe button and hit the bell icon to be the first to see my next video. I post updates like this every week where I uncover the secrets of your favorite celebrities.